Alright, and how did it went? Did you had a success with your action exercise, or did you struggle with it? If you struggle with it, no problem at all. Or did you had a hard time because you could not restrict the amount of this? No problem, I can show you everything. I made it a bit more harder this time because it's for me important that you learn a lot. So let's start with the beginning. Okay, we're going to make this exactly the same, and I'm going to copy and put it here at the next things. So what we have here, first of all, we had the restriction of the month. So we had, let's do the basic stuff first. Well, I'll put it on a clean sheet, it's probably more better. So we had the month. We had number 9 as month. We had month. We had the day. And we have here our nice formula. So how do we do the formula? Well, first of all, we're going to make the layout nice. So we have one part done. It's always useful. Okay, now we have the formula. And the formula will be, of course, the VLOOKUP. In this case, we're looking up. What is our lookup value? This one, F4. Once you did that, we're going to select the table array. So what is our table array in this case? Well, our table array is, well, you can select only this part, or you can select only this, as long as you make sure it is restricted. So I'm going to restrict just to only use this part. This is the only part we anyway need. So we press this F4 as well, and then we jump back instantly. And then now we will say, what's the range look of the column index number? That's number 2 because it's in the second column. And next, true or false. Exact match stands for false, so we want false. Close parentheses and enter. Now you're done with that. We have this part, so let's see what happens if we type in 8. It will give an error. That's correct. But what happens if I type in 10? It will display because 10 is in our matching data array. So now we have this done, and this part is already done. So let's get the next part. What we wanted was only starting from, well, let's check. Starting from 20 September till 31 September. So we type in here equal. And what is it? We need to go in here. We equal 20 ampersand space quotation space quotation, and then one more time space, and then ampersand matching. What is the value that we're matching with? It should be in here October, and October must be fixed. So freeze this by F4 and enter. Once you did that, you're ready to go to drag it down. And there you are. And perhaps you might say, wait a minute, if I will type in here 11, I know there's no 31 November, that does not exist. So that's the reason I put this, because this is just a restriction, and that's why this value will always be 0. Anyway, when you write down in your raw data or your input data all the dates with the sales, for example, there will be never a 31 November or a 30 February, because we see here also those things. So, but do not worry about that, because that's always 0, because your data will depend on what value will be in here. So now you know that. Do not worry. And let's continue to the next part. So to make this first, let's make it 10. So what is our next part? Our value. We need to use the sum if formula. Open parentheses. What is our range? Our range will be, if you look here, this is our range. So we select the entire range here, and we need to press F4 to freeze the cells, comma. Then the next part is the criteria. That is this. This is our criteria, comma, sum range. We go back to sum range, and we select the sales is our sum range, because we want to summarize all the values. And once we did this, select all of these, F4 and enter. Once you did that, you're almost ready to go. We can drag this here, you see the square, and drag this down. And there you are. Now nice layout, press the $sign and give this a nice look. Beautiful. Center this and nice. So what is our next part? Our next part will be the graph. I chose here the donut chart, although the donut chart is not really that, it couldn't display that properly. You can choose other ones as well, but for me, my point here is just to show you that any chart you make can be used in here, and that is so wonderful out of this skill. It makes every chart dynamic and not only this nice scatter chart. So let's look at this. What more? So what do? First of all, we need to put the basic part. We select here what is it? Yeah, we select design, chart to design, and select data. Selecting the data, we need to add data first. This you can just leave blank, and then you put this in here, and then you select the value here. Once you did that, you can press OK and OK, confirm, and delete this on the side. This is useless. Next, we're going to put the information in here. We want a table, so we select layout, chart title, and we put above the chart a title. We're going to select all of this, and then you press here equal October, or equal this F30 in this case here, and enter. October. Now it's working, so let's double test. 11 November. November has no values, that's why everything is 0 in November. Then the next part is the final part, that will be go to your developers tab. I assume you already have your developer right now, your developers tab, and you go to design mode, insert. Once you press insert, you select this and you do this, and there you have a nice part. Now you need to change the properties out of this, so you select on this, select properties with your design mode still on, and now I will show you. So what is our linked cell? First of all, our linked cell will be number 10, so E29, E29, and then the next will be, we have the next part, that is the minimum and the max. Well, normally you use here the minimum 1 for January. In this case, our minimum is 9. Yes, because we start in September. And our max will be 12, because we will end in December, and that is very important. Now you are done, and you can see, well, we adjusted it. This jumps instantly to the next part, and now you are done to do it. So you select, you click somewhere else, and you turn off design mode. Now it's off. We can close this, and we can test it right away. So does it work? Yes. October, and look at this. So October, September, November, and December. Because they have no values in here, that's why this chart is empty. But this is it. This is how you create a very dynamic chart, and you can use it for every possible chart in here. That makes this such a wonderful option. You can use everything in here, and everything will move with it. So I hope you had that everything worked well, and if you still have questions, don't hesitate to ask.